Anyway, this video we're checking out the Eachine Diatone ER349. This is a collaboration design, I guess, with Eachine and Diatone together. But as far as I can tell, this is pretty much all Diatone, with the only thing that I can see that is from Eachine is the labeling on the canopy, which is basically, I think it's like a painted on, I guess. A little bit of like that silver color you can see right there. But you can see that it clearly says Diatone. The canopy is the same as before. This is the Stretch Decks frame, and it has all the, pretty much all the same parts as the original R349 that I reviewed several months back. A couple of minor differences. The video transmitter here is not the Runcam, but now is the TBS Unified Video Transmitter with smart audio. In the R349, there was a Runcam video transmitter behind the camera. The camera is the same here. It's the same Runcam Microswift camera, and the motors are also the same. These are the Mamba 1408s, 4000 kV. Same motors as before. Then the stack is slightly different. Same ESCs as before, 25 amp, 4-in-1 D-Shot 600 ESCs, but then they're calling this stack the MK2 because this is the second version of the flight controller. And I did a video on the flight controller on the update, basically, so I'll put a link down in the description if you want to see that video on the flight controller. Basically, they changed the layout a little bit, and they put through holes for the solder pads to make it a little bit easier for soldering. But yeah, I can see it's still pretty tiny. But still an F4, still uses the same target, the Fury F4 OSD, so nothing has changed there in terms of the electronics. Betaflight OSD and also the MPU 6000 gyro. Now this one does have the XD30 on here, not the XD60 that the 6S Diatone that I reviewed a few days ago. Actually, this was, as I recall, the 1408s with a lower kV motor, 2800 kV for flying this on 6S versus 4S, and it has the same TBS Unified, but it has a Fox here micro arrow camera instead of the Runcam Microswift, and it has this TBS antenna in the back here, the circular polarized antenna, whereas you still have the whip antenna here on the Eachine Diatone ER349. So those are pretty much the differences. Basically, it's the same frame on the bottom here, and so you can see it's Stretch Decks on the ER349. It's the exact same frame here on the 6S. This is their Stretch Decks frame. 3mm bottom plate, and I'll just give you some measurements here. It's roughly 90 millimeters motor to motor, side to side, and then the front to back is roughly 110 millimeters, and the motor to motor is roughly 145 millimeters. Okay, so here's the weight without the battery, and it's coming in at 143.4 grams. And just for reference, the 6S is 154.7 grams. And the battery I flew with is 4S 750 GNB with an XT30, and this comes in at 91.4 grams. So altogether the weight is 235 grams. So those are the guys that are concerned about the 250 gram weight limit. You probably want to go with the 4S instead of the 6S, because the 6S with the battery I used before went over the 250 gram limit. And the prop on here is the Gemfan 3052 prop. This also came with a set of the a little bit lower pitch. It's the Windancer 3028 prop as well. I did tune this on Betaflight 403. It came with Betaflight 353 with, I think, the typical Eachine treatment. They basically just flashed a bare bones Betaflight, and there's no settings on there. So I was pretty sure it wasn't going to fly very good on that, so I went ahead and flashed 403 on here and put my own PID tune on here running 4S. I will put that down in the description as well if you guys want to see my dump file. Again, you may or may not like the tune, and depending on the condition of your quad, it may or may not work for you, because right now this is in totally brand new condition. So if you crash, have bent props, stack is mounted weird, or maybe you have a broken arm or something like that, then yeah, obviously the tune isn't probably going to work for you. So just keep that in mind. But if you want to use it, it's going to be down in the description. Now again, I think another common question will be, where's the speed run on this one? I did do a speed test on the original 349 with the GPS I added up on top here. If you guys are interested in that, let me know down in the comments below. I'm pretty sure it's going to be about the same speed, about 109 miles an hour, 110 miles an hour, because it's running the exact same motor and same ESC. Yeah, the frame is a little bit different, but all the other electronics, and just because are pretty much the same. So I mean, I don't think that you're going to see much of a difference in speed. Same prop, same motor, same ESC, should pretty much be the same top speed. So, but if you really want it, let me know down in the comments below, and I could possibly make it happen for a future video. Now overall, do I like this one better than the original R349? I think so, because it has the stretch decks characteristics, so it does feel a little bit more locked in versus the sort of squish decks of the original, which had the motors closer together, front to back, and further apart side to side. I think this configuration is pretty locked in, at least on the PIDs that I had. You guys can agree or disagree once you fly it. Very fast, and obviously you've seen some of that footage already. Yeah, definitely no complaints. This is a good model. I do like the fact that they upgraded the video transmitter to the TBS Unify. That's a better video transmitter. I kind of wish that they put the Fox arrow in here instead of the Microswift. I like that arrow better than the Microswift. Other than that, not a whole lot to complain about. The antenna here was zip tied to the top plate, kind of like this. I removed that, and then I put a zip tie in the back here so that the transmitting part of the antenna is a little bit further away from the body, so you get better video transmission. A couple of minor things there. Of course, this is plug and play like all their Diatones, so I just added my RXSR receiver there. The plug, it just plugged right in. It was already bound to my radio, and then I just ran some zip ties here and heat shrunk the antennas. So pretty good reception and all that. Yeah, overall I like it. I think I like it better than the original. Yeah, I wouldn't be too concerned about the Eachine collaboration if you guys are worried about that, other than the fact that they didn't put any kind of a tune on here. But yeah, just use the tune that I've got down in the description. I think you'll find that works pretty good. Other than that, I think it's a pretty good model. I like it, and I think this is definitely a little bit better than the original R349, so definitely would recommend this. Go ahead and I'll show you some more flight footage from another park that I flew at. If you guys have any questions, let me know, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one.